You're so close to the National anyway.
Yes, I realised when I got this flat so near the National that I would never get a job
Never
there.
ever work there
That
again.
would be the end of that
Yeah.
particular thing. You want to go straight on here.
So we're right in the middle of London. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce, I think, someone I can classify as a good friend, Mr. Nigel Planer.
Hello. Do I say hello?
You can say hello if you want.
This is so strange being in a car
I know.
like this.
And it is actually quite hot in here, isn't it?
That's warm. No, that's
It's
good.
all right,
It's
is
so
it? Okay.
cold at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's great. I was just saying, it's so strange to have cameras all around you so easily when I've done action sequences before the days of digital cameras.
Yeah.
When they actually had to have cable between the camera and the monitor, and the cable went between two cars. So we'd be driving a stunt.
No, you're kidding. With
two cars.
wires.
And the monitor guy, the director, would be in the following car. So if you once we drove just a little too fast in second gear or whatever as we took off, and the cable unplugged, and we had to go back to the unit base and start again.
Oh no.
It was, I mean, this is just amazing. You can just, and those rigs, those side rigs that are always here.
Huge
for the
things,
sort of-
yeah.
For the Al Pacino shot, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, the one just at the side of his face there.
Which must make, I mean, to actually drive in a city with that huge thing, you can't.
That's
you couldn't drive in the
ridiculous.
street.
And then there's low loaders. I've worked with those low
I've done loader
loaders.
stuff, yeah.
And
I've done
so
pretend
many-
steering, and I was
Yeah.
so rubbish at
Oh,
it,
yeah.
so obvious it wasn't.
So many different ways of filming in a car, but I've never seen anything as neat and handy as this to actually drive in. Could you remember your lines though? Now?
No, I mean, but then that's no different.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
could we
where
have
we
gone?
should have gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
never mind.
I can turn around if you want.
Just think, which bridge should we? It's all about going over bridges.
It's all
London.
we want to choose the bridge.
Choose the bridge. I think we need Waterloo Bridge.
Okay, which is that one. We need
Yeah.
to go
So
up
you
that
want to
one. I think
turn
I'll
around here,
Yeah, there's no
go
problem.
back up there, and over Waterloo Bridge.
We'll just turn around at the back of the National Theatre where really successful actors get jobs.
Yeah, yeah. So I've grown my hair now so
That
that
is-
I can look more like a proper actor.
That is very impressive, I think.
Very
I'm
Oscar
really impressed.
Wilde, I think. you
Because the
know.
last time I saw you, yours was shorter than mine, I think. Yeah, that's grown.
Yeah, I've had
your hair-
cropped or shaved hair for
Yeah.
about 10 years.
And your hair must grow really quickly. It must show you're very,
well,
very
this
healthy.
has taken a few months.
Right.
This has taken a few months. And of course, the last time I grew it, it was black.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a shock to, crop your hair and then realise actually it's gone silver.
Yeah.
Silver fox. It's
Yeah,
gone
I think it's very silver fox.
silver fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some of the people who will see this will.
You mean there are going to be people
There will be.
who will actually see this?
I reckon in the hundreds.
In the hundreds of thousands, obviously.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're all going to know you from the young ones. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, ever since I've known you, which is now quite a few years, you've done so much. You've
Other
never
stuff.
stopped. I don't ever remember you not working except when you had a bad back.
That's right. There was
And even then you were
there was
writing and-
I was working lying on my back. But
Yeah.
yes, it's funny, isn't it? The young ones, I mean,
Because that was
26 years ago. It's a long time ago
26
anyway.
and only
Yeah.
12 episodes. Was it 12?
12 episodes ever made.
Wow.
Like The Office, like Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
But it had more impact. I remember thinking at the time, I was in another show simultaneously called Shine on Harvey Moon.
Right.
And one night, Shine on Harvey Moon was on, and we had 18 million people watching it.
Wow.
And The Young Ones was on that week and had 2 million people watching
Yeah.
it. And yet, The Young Ones seems to have had the greater
cachet
social
or
impact.
whatever,
Although Shine on Harvey Moon was a tremendous hit and
At the
a
time,
very
it was
popular
huge,
show.
wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
huge
yeah.
show at the time. But as they
So
say,
don't go into the tunnel.
no, don't go into the tunnel. We'll go through Covent Garden. We'll go through
Right.
Theatreland.
Well, let's go through Theatreland.
We'll go through
Because I know
Theatreland.
you feel at home there.
I do feel I'm a what's known as a West End Wendy now. I have been for some years, and I'm just about to go and do Hairspray, where
Right.
we're going now.
Yeah.
I'm in rehearsals for Hairspray at the moment.
Right.
And I'm about to go into the show, starting very shortly. And you want to go sharp left
Left up here, right.
as soon as you can. Otherwise, we'll see no theatres at all.
No, we need to see theatre.
Yeah, yeah. Left here. Yeah. Here's the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Right. Marvellous.
Playing their season. Left immediately here.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the taxi. The theatre
It is, isn't
taxi
it? Yeah.
cut through. That was the Royal Shakespeare where David Tennant unfortunately recently had his bad back.
Yes.
There were queues of teenagers. And there's the Lion King.
The Lion King.
On our left.
Seen that with the children?
Yeah. Beautiful show.
Wow, marvellous.
Marvellous. And what have we got here?
Le Café du Jardin.
Le Café du Jardin.
Well, the Royal Opera.
Drury Lane.
Drury Lane?
We have Drury Lane to our right with Rowan Atkinson about to open
is he?
as Fagin in Oliver.
You're kidding, is he really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yes he is, yeah.
Wow.
And of course up there on the right we have The Woman in Black.
Yeah, which has
in the
been there
Fortune
for
Theatre, which has
how
been
many
there for
years?
nearly as long as the
Bloody
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, yeah, isn't it?
It's been there as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I
it's a
can never remember it
two-handed
before.
chiller. It's a chiller.
And you've never done that?
I've never done a stint in the Woman in Black, no.
I'm very glad.
But this really is the heart of it. Really.
Royal Opera House?
Royal Opera House.
I've never done a gig there.
I've never done a gig there, no. I've played most of these places at some point or other.
Is it quite a physical role, the Hairspray one? I mean, I've not seen it, so I don't know anything about it.
Well, it will be for me.
Right.
Put it like that. I think people would think, oh, that's a nice cushy job. You know, you've only got one little bit of dancing up and down, and then you do the finale with everybody, and they're all incredibly young, and incredibly beautiful, and incredibly fit. And I play the slightly more mature version of it.
Yeah.
Yes, nice one. We're going actually up Drury Lane.
Drury Lane, is
famous
very good.
old Drury Lane, which has been. This was Theatre World in the 18th century.
Because of course that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because you know all about that, all that history stuff. So you're well.
Ask me a question.
History.
I know everything there is to know about history, all of history,
all of the entire,
particularly London, and particularly the history of the theatre, obviously.
But were there other theatres like along this street then, where there no longer are? I mean, would there have been other buildings?
There's been several buildings where Drury Lane was, because they kept burning down.
Right.
Mysteriously.
Where the Drury Lane Theatre is now, yeah.
Well, roughly around there, yes. And then there was the Haymarket. I mean, originally there were only two actually licensed theatres that King, whatever it was called, licensed.
Right.
And this theatre, here it is, there's my theatre.
Hairspray.
It's my theatre.
That is your theatre.
That's the theatre which did get a bit of a reputation as a graveyard theatre, because shows never seemed to last there. But now, Hairspray seems to be breaking that mould, because it's doing really well. It's been going a year. It's fantastic. That's the role. Do you see? That's the lovely Ian Talbot. Yeah. Is playing the role that I will be doing.
Right. So you're taking over from him.
Yeah. That was originally played by Mel Smith.
Yeah.
Played by Christopher Walken in the musical movie, and played by Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's dad.
Oh, you're kidding.
In the original John Waters movie. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm growing slightly a moustache, because I thought I'd try and look like Jerry Stiller.
I didn't even know Ben Stiller had a dad.
Oh, you'd recognise him. He's like he's an old-time comedian.
Right.
Like a musical type, vaudeville type comedian. You'd recognise the face. He's just got this. He's got a moustache and the kind of curly hair, and he's a sort of a movie comedy face that you've seen in 1,000 movies. Right. Although that's Shaftesbury Avenue. Well, we just missed all the theatres of Shaftesbury.
So many theatres. No, you see, I'm just not in tune, because you would have gone that way naturally.
Yeah, and a whole row of
lovely theatres. Many of which you've appeared in.
Many of which I've appeared in. The Globe Theatre, which used to be called it used to be called the Globe. It's now called the Gielgud. Right. And I played it, which has a bit of a lip, meaning the circle comes down a bit far over the stalls. Ooh. So there's a bit of an acoustic black hole under the lip. I love it all. But here we have the advantage of the Donmar West End, which is the Wyndham's Theatre. Right, I remember. Yes. One of the most successful theatres. And that one, right. There is in London. Everything that goes there seems to be very powerfully strong and marvellous. And I recently saw the lovely Kenneth Branagh in the lovely Ivanov, which was brilliant. It was good, was it? Directed by the lovely Michael Grandage. Wow. I've got to stop saying the lovely. No, I think you should put it in as often as you can. And we're just about to pass the Garrick Theatre. Yes. Named after, of course, the famous actor David Garrick. Yeah. But that's Henry Irving, who after he'd done his triumphant first, because he was, I can't remember, I think he was a printer, or he had a trade, a job. Yeah. And he had a wife, and he wanted to be an actor, and they were coming away from the first night of his triumphant Hamlet. I've probably got my details wrong, but it was a big deal for him. He finally got a leading role, and he was playing a leading role, and it was a triumph. And he was coming away in the carriage with his wife, and she said, "I hope you're not thinking of being a fool like this for the whole of your life," and because she didn't approve of the acting. Right. And he got out of the carriage, closed the door, and never saw her again.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Because I always forget about that, is the comic strip, which of course is one where you did, the last comic strip I can remember you doing was the one in the car, the salesman in the car, which I loved.
Four Men in a Car. Yeah. And then we did 4 Men in a Plane as well.
That's right, 4 Men in a
Plane.
Plane.
They were great, they were good. It's a shame with the comic strip that everything's grown grown apart, not just, I don't mean in terms of we're not friends anymore, but I mean in terms of acting styles, taste, availability, apart from everything else. It's such a shame because I think those 4 Men in the Car and 4 Men in the Plane are just great. I would love to be doing more of that with the guys. It's so nice to be.
It must be great fun.
Well, there's a lot of arguing, and it's just impossible. but it's like being in Spinal Tap.
Right.
I don't mean acting in Spinal Tap. It's actually like living it. It's actually like being part of a group of people who sort of constantly bicker at each other. But it's just it's kind of bliss as well.
Yes.
It's really good. It's really good.
Well, because you did so many, I always forget how many. There's so much of that.
Something like 40 films.
Was there?
Yeah, something like that. Because you can get the whole box set now.
Are you kidding? You can get the entire thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Apart from the last one called Sex Actually.
Right. I never saw that.
Yeah, it's not
the finest.
Not the finest.
But was it a spoof on Love Actually?
Not really. I don't know what it was.
Now we're going past a classic theatre.
A classic theatre, one of the most beautiful.
It is lovely. The Old Vic.
The Old Vic.
Marvellous.
Currently, artistic director is Kevin Spacey.
And Richard Dreyfuss is in the show.
Richard Dreyfuss is appearing in there with David Suchet.
Isn't that extraordinary?
I didn't know that. Fantastic.
Wow. Proper Hollywood A-listers doing a bit of theatre, darling.
Fantastic.
Lovely Richard, as he's known.
Is it? Sure. Lovely. The lovely Richard Dreyfuss.
The lovely Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
And Kevin Spacey's still
Yeah. I saw the lovely Kevin Spacey on stage at the Old Vic, and he's really got it all in terms of the voice and the presence and everything. And here's another lovely theatre.
Well, the Young Vic.
The Young Vic. Very
Which
nice
is really
theatre.
expanded. But I think of what the Young Vic was a shed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
that's
remember
beautiful.
it being